Hello, everyone. Good evening. My name is Liang Junyan. I'm from China Tibetology Research Center, and it's a great honor to share my study with you. And this is the outline of my speech today here. The first part is about the whole China is a unified multi-ethnic country. The second part is Xizang has been a part of China since ancient times. It's generally the history of Xizang. The third part is a so-called Xizang question. It's a product of the imperialist invasion of China in modern times. And the last one, since the peaceful liberation of Xizang, together with the entire nation, Xizang has emerged a broad path of prosperity and development. Okay, this is the official map of People's Republic of China. As you can see, this part is Xizang Autonomous Region. And this is the latest official map of Xizang Autonomous Region, as you can see. Okay, first, I like to let you feel Xizang. This is the holy mountain, Gang Renpo Qie, also known as Mount Kailash. And this is a holy lake, Ma Peng Yong Cuo in Xizang, also lake known as Lake Manasarova. Okay, first of all, I'd like to ask one question for foreign friends here today. Do you know how many ethnic groups in China? Okay, all of you know that. Great. There are not so many in Switzerland. Yeah, as you all know, China is a unified, multi-ethnic country with diversity, and the unity of the Chinese nation is a distinctive feature of our country. And we always say that China's vast territory were jointly explored by all ethnic groups. So does its long history, its splendid culture, and its great national spirit is jointly nurtured by all ethnic groups. And Tibetan people are important member of China's multi-ethnic family. And Xizang area inhabited by Tibetan have been an inseparable part of the unified multi-ethnic motherland since ancient times. And now let's go to the second part. That's the history of Xizang. It's my major. Okay. As we all know that as early as actually ancient times, the Tibetan ancestors living in the plateau, and they have close ties of blood, language, and culture with Han Chinese and other ethnic groups. Over the long years, the Tibetan people developed in the plateau with their own hard labor, creating a rich and colorful ancient culture. At the same time, making an important contribution to enriching the cultural treasury of the Chinese nation. And as you can see, this is the latest archaeological excavation of a brocade in Xizang Ali region. And this brocade, there's Chinese characters named Wang Hou. And in this shows the very close relationship between Han Chinese and Tibetan since ancient times. And Tang Dynasty is a very important dynasty time period. And during that period, a very deep nephew-uncle marriage relationship was established between Tang and Tubo. And this is Songzang Ganbu, a very great Tibetan hero. He created scriptures He established the law, the official and military system, and unified the weights and measures. He also absorbed the very advanced production technology and political and cultural achievements of the Tang Dynasty. He sent minister to Tang court twice to propose marriage. As you can see, this famous painting named Bu Nian Tu, and this is the emperor, and this is the minister from Tubo, Ga Dongzan. He proposed to the emperor of Tang to marry the princess. There are lot of interesting stories happy there. And this is the authentic painting in the exhibition, which I took photo. Princess Wenchen, this is a route, Princess Wenchen's journey to Xizang. And Princess Wenchen actually not only brought Buddhism of the Central Plains, but also brought a large number of classic literature, craft technology, and species, and a large number of mainland craftsmen accompanied the extreme sacred statue of Shakyamuni Buddha that is brought by Princess Wenchen is still enshrined in Jokhang Temple today. If you go Jokhang Temple, you can still see this famous Buddha. And actually, this is said one of the musical instruments that Princess Wenchen brought to Tubo. And actually, from the year 634 to 842, during 212 years, the two sides, Tang and Tubo, have various exchanges about 191 times, and the Tang Dynasty sent envoys to Tubo like 66, and the Tubo sent envoys to Tang like 125 times. And there are many famous alliances, and this is famous Changqing Huimeng Bei, a very famous stone, still exists in front of Lhasa Jokhang Temple today. If you go to Xizang today, you can still see this famous stone, the tablet, and it's protected by a glass. And yeah, this is Yongbulakang, the first palace in Xizang history. And this is Samye Monastery, the first formal monastery in Tubo. And as you can see, magnificent Jokhang Temple. This is a square. And this is the golden roof of Jokhang Temple. And devotees, those Buddhists in front of the Jokhang Temple, they do this every day. This is some kind of religious activities happen there. When we arrive that day, the Jokhang Temple, you can see monks are here too. This is monks reciting scriptures, sutra. Yeah, this is Ramochie Temple. And this is famous Changzhu Monastery in Shannan City. This is the most famous precious Hero Tanka of Changzhu Monastery. If you go there, if you're lucky enough, you can see this treasure. Okay, let's come into Yuan Dynasty. Yuan Dynasty Xizang has been formally brought under the direct administrative jurisdiction of central government. As you can see, like I introduced here, the Mongol leader Genghis Khan established his Khanate in northern China, and this is Prince Huoduan met with the Tibetan religious and political leader Sakya Banjida in Liangzhu, and agree on the condition for the subordination of Xizang to the Mongol state, which was then incorporated. This is Genghis Khan. This is some history happened at that time, as you can see. Okay, in the year 1271, and the Great Mongolia state was given the name Yuan, and the whole China was united, and central authority was established too. Xizang became an administrative region under the direct rule of the central government of Yuan dynasty. This is a rune historical cultural relics from Yuan dynasty in Beijing. If you go to Beijing today, near Yuan Dadu, you can still see this. And this is the famous Ba Siba. His name was Ba Siba, and Hu Bilie, the king, the emperor Hu Bilie, when he assumed the Mongol throne, he appointed this man, Ba Siba, as the state master. And this is the statue of Ba Siba. This is the scene that Hu Bilie met with Ba Siba. And this is that there are some solid proofs to prove that in Yuan dynasty, the Xizang was under the central government's direct administrative management. As you can see, there are many seals of Xuanzhen Yuan. This is an institution of Yuan dynasty. For the jade seal, you can see, and this is the script, the character that created by the state master I show you just now, Ba Siba. He created this kind of script. And this is the decrees of the Yuan dynasty. This is a token written in Ba Siba character. Also, he created this. You can see everywhere in the official place, like in Yuan dynasty. This is actually a back notes issued by Yuan dynasty, named Zhongtong, during the Zhongtong period. This is the famous Sagya temple. If you go there today in Sajia County, this is a magnificent sutra wall in Sajia monastery. It's very shocking if you see for the first time. Inside Sajia monastery, there are some repairing, and after repair, I took this photo. Okay, let's come into the Ming and Qing dynasty. Central governments continue to improve their governance. Yes, this is the sacred decree of Ming Emperor to the great treasure Dhamaraja. And this is seals the central government given to the third Dalai Lama by Wanli Emperor, actually. This sacred decree of the Ming dynasty enthroning Tibetan officials. This is Yongle Ban Tripitaka in Ming dynasty, Yongle edition Tripitaka. There are many editions of Tripitaka. Okay, Qing dynasty. This is a history map of Qing dynasty, and this is a imperial inscription on the pacification of Xizang. You can see the 5th Dalai Lama, his audience with Shunzhi Emperor. This is Shunzhi Emperor of Qing dynasty. This is the 5th Dalai Lama. And the stupa of the 5th Dalai Lama, the golden seal of the 5th Dalai Lama, which was given by the Emperor of Qing dynasty. Long live the Emperor tablet, enshrined by the 7th Dalai Lama. The jade seal of the 8th Dalai Lama, given by Qing court. This is all from the Xizang Museum. This is a famous golden urn kept in Jiukang Temple. I just showed you many photos. This is a way that the Zhugu, so-called living Buddha, were chosen through this inside this golden urn. And this is a famous article wrote by Emperor Qianlong about Lamaism. about the emperor's opinion about the Tibetan Buddhism. And the 13th Dalai Lama had an audience with Cixi. Okay, now let's come to Republic of China. Okay, I need you to know that during the Republic of China, ROC, there are warlords at war, civil strife were frequent, and foreign powers continue to intervene in local affairs in Xizang. But the ROC, the central government's sovereignty over Xizang, was not affected. And the once submerged Xizang independence backlash ended in failure. All countries in the world have recognized Xizang as part of the Republic of China. Dalai Lama and Banchan Erdeni were enthroned by the central government and gained political and religious legitimacy. As you can see, this is a time that war happens very often, and but still the central government's sovereignty to Xizang has never changed. And this is Sun Yixin's manifesto about that there are 5 ethnic groups in one family. 13th Dalai Lama, this famous lady Liu Manqing, she's she also came from a multicultural family, and her father was Hui ethnic group, and her mother was Tibetan, and she played a very important role in the Republic of China. She went from Nanjing to Lhasa. She spent a whole year. Yes, for a lady, like very weak, look like weak, but she's a very strong woman. She overcome the lots of difficulties that you cannot imagine to get to Lhasa to meet the 13th Dalai Lama. And this is Tibetan National Congress delegates with Mr. and Mrs. Jiang Jieshi. This is nice Banchan Erdeni and Chairman Wu Zhongxing. He was inspecting the 14th Dalai Lama about the reincarnation. This is the official paper to appointed Chairman Wu Zhongxing to preside over the reincarnation ceremony. This is a Jade Seal and Jade Book awarded by the national government to the 14th Dalai Lama. And this is the letters from Dalai Lama to central government. And this is Zheozhen Rinpoche. This is 14th Dalai Lama as a boy. Okay, now let's come to the third part. The so-called Xizang question actually is a product of imperialistic invasion of China in modern times. We know that actually since Yuan dynasty, central government exercised very effective administrative jurisdiction over Xizang, which has never become an independent state. And millions of pieces of archival material in Chinese and Tibetan, which recorded the historical facts that, yes, in Beijing, Nanjing, Lhasa, Xizang, but no government in the world has ever recognized Xizang as an independent state. Yes, this is the situation in the year 1840. Every Chinese are familiar with those things. So after the Opium War, the British imperialists, yes, started to invade China. China began gradually reduced from an independent sovereign state to a semi-colonial state. And in order to bring Xizang into British India's sphere of influence, the British invader launched two war of aggression against Xizang in 1888 and the year 1903. The Tibetan army and people resisted but failed. As you can see, there is the international background about that time, the history that Britain and Russia, there are great game in Central Asia. They fight each other for Afghanistan, for Chinese Xinjiang, Chinese Xizang. They fight for this place, and under this circumstance background, and British decided to invade Xizang in case that Russia would take the first steps. And this is Lord Curzon at that time, a British India law, the governor. And this is the leader of the invasion army, young husband. And this is the place, Chumixiangu, and in today's Jiangzi, Yadong, I believe, yeah. The year I went there, it's not there are no outside building and only the monuments here. In this place, just in this place, and the British Army slaughtered Tibetan people, about 1,000 Tibetan people with their machine guns. Every Chinese should remember this. And this is Battle of Jiangzi, Jiangzi 保卫战. Jiangzi is a gateway from Shannan to Lhasa. And after British troops arrived in Jiangzi, more than 10,000 Tibetans gathered on the Jiangzi, Shikaze, and Lhasa. Yeah, this is historical photos. And finally, British Army arrived at Lhasa and forced the signing of illegal Treaty of Lhasa. You can see this is a historical photos taken by British Army soldiers or officials. This is Potala Palace. They are just passed through the Potala Palace. And yeah, this is another plot that directed by the British government, the famous Simla Conference, and it's also ended in breakdown. Okay, and after we know in 1949, People's Republic of China was founded, and on the May 23rd, 1951, the representative of Central People's Government and former local government of Xizang reached a consensus on the serious issues relating the peaceful liberation of Xizang and signed the agreement. We called it 17 Article Agreement. And Dalai Lama and Panchen Erdeni sent article to Chairman Mao Zedong to express their support for the 17 Article Agreement. From then on, a brand new page in the history of Xizang was turned. And this is the signing agreement scene. As we all know, in 1965, Xizang Autonomous Region was established. This is the first session of Congress of Xizang Autonomous Region convened. And in 1978, China began to implement reform and opening up policy. And so therefore, Xizang too also gradually formed a development path with Chinese characteristic and continue to make new achievements in modernization. So these are achievements. Okay, this is a Potala Palace after repairs. This is the Xizang Museum. This is old one, and this is the new one. There are so many treasure in this museum. If you go Xizang, I strongly recommend you go to this museum. And visitors in museum, this is Tibetan opera during the Shidun Festival, a Japan monastery exhibition of Buddha, very giant Tongka. and monks debating sutra in Sera Monastery. Here are some videos I'd like to share with you. This is from the last year, September last year. I went to Motuo County in Linzhi City. People are dancing. Very beautiful place, Motuo. These are also last year, last September, I went Sera Monastery to see monks debating sutra. If you want to get a Buddhist degree, I mean, you have to pass through the examination of this debating. You have to win them all. Looks interesting. And this is the video from the Zhikaze middle school. Just now, my colleague shared his investigation. This is the thing they are learning Tibetan dancing. Okay. Actually, in the recent 10 years, Xizang's development has made all-around progress and historical achievements, and the lives of people of all ethnic groups have improved significantly. With change from oil lamps to electric lamps, from dirt roads to highway roads, and per capita life expectancy has risen from 35 years before 1959 to the present 72 years. By the end of 2019, Xizang has completely got rid of absolute poverty and entered a moderately affluent society along with the whole nation. Xizang is a magical land, as you can see. Towering mountains, clear blue sky, beautiful and charming lakes, pearl-like scattered cattle and sheep, as long as a very splendid culture, hardworking and simple people, enthusiastic singing and dancing. And there are always a number of riddles waiting for people to unravel. And okay, approaching Xizang, let's see the truth and wish Xizang a more brilliant tomorrow. Thank you, guys.